Oh, my God. I'll be quiet, you. Hey there. Once again, live on tape from a secret, undisclosed location hidden somewhere deep within the recesses of historic downtown St. John's, Newfoundland, way out there on the Atlantic Ocean, as far as you can get in North America, comes in the Library of Graphic Literature. With me, your comic book pal, Wallace Ryan. Oh, doesn't that sound nice, eh? Oh. Let's give it a spin. Let's move it out a bit. Get a bit more of a spin out of it so it's not hitting my cups there. There we go. And with the spin of the rack here, let's start having a look at the books that came in this week, or last week. Of course, as many viewers of the show know, of course, being way out on the east coast of Canada, sometimes due to storms, or sometimes they just forget about us, we get our comics late. And as opposed to most people who get them Wednesday, we get them Thursday. We didn't get them Thursday, we didn't get them Friday, we got them today. So that's why I'm coming to you for a few days late. Whenever I'm late, or whenever this happens, you will see a notice posted to the Library of Graphic Literature Facebook page, which you should check out anyway, because I'm always posting news there, and a lot of great people on there talking, having a good chat. A lot of great people there. So yeah, check out our Facebook page. Delicious. Delish. Oh, so what a week, Okay, not a lot this week, so I do have a little bit of an added segment too, which I'll tell you about in a second. But first of all, not from last week, but from a couple of weeks ago, is our first thing. This is a bit of a review. This is Fantastic Four, Behold Galactus. Now I know this is a couple of weeks old, but I didn't buy it when it originally came out for, I got this in so many forms, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But then, when it came by, and I seen it, my good friend Dennis Osborne, my Omni buddy, he had bought it. He absolutely loved it. When I seen it and actually had a look at it, it was just like, why the heck didn't I buy that? So, of course, I went about and I ordered it again, and in it came. So, what this is a collection of, an oversized collection of some of the, some of Galactus's greatest hits. Now, of course, this fills up a whole screen here, so I'm just going to pull it back here a bit and reveal it unto you. So, there we go. Great big pages. One of the most classic comic book series of all time. I absolutely loved it. So it has a lot of his appearances in it, stuff like that. Even right on through to, from his first appearance right up to John Byrne, I do believe, yeah, the death of Galactus, or the trial of Galactus, whatever. But anyway, then it has a couple of, some great Galactus comics in it. So if any of you out there are as big a fan of the Galactus saga as I am, you should pick this up. Even if you do have it in normal size, in the big size like this, it is absolutely spectacular. There's only one thing better than Jack Kirby artwork, and that's Jack Kirby artwork writ large on the page. So, so yeah, if you haven't already seen this, had the joy of looking through it, run out and get a copy for yourself. It's so well worth getting. I mean, check out that cover. Oh, I love you. I love you. Let's go and kiss in the back there. Anyway, yes, great book. Oh, now let's get back on track with the comics from this week, or the books from this week. First of all, we have from a company called DeadReckoning, or DeadReckoning.org. We have a book edited by Craig Yo. It's not from Yo Books precisely, but it's a collection of the classic Don Winslow of the Navy comic strip. So I like the look of it, and I like the presentation. It has something very military or very Navy-like about the look of it. But as soon as I seen it, the best of Don Winslow of the Navy, I had to have it. Kind of like some war comic stuff like that. But this, I haven't read any of these, but it looks so cool. And once I seen Craig's name on it, and you know Craig, I just had to get it. So, like I've said before, Craig Yo is possibly one of the great curators of comic book collections out there. So, like I say, when I seen his name attached to it, I figured this had to be a must-have. But the art is pretty cool. I like the stories look interesting, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to giving this a read. Like I said, I've said many times before on this show before. Growing up, I was more, well, grew up in the Silver Age, and to me, the Silver Age and Bronze Age artwork was the best in the world. And when I looked at the Golden Age comics, they looked like, to me at the time, like they were drawn by kids, drunken kids or whatever, and just never appreciated it. And it's like that with a lot of things in life. As you get older, you get to appreciate the finer things. It's like when I was very young, I didn't get Kirby, wasn't a big fan of Kirby. But slowly and somewhere along the way, my eyes opened to what he was all about, and I began to realize why the guy was the king of comics. So it happens to us all. Oh, more tea, more tea. Now, of course, the big book for me this week, and a book I have been waiting for so long. And I mean, I've been waiting for this even before. Oh God, I can remember thinking that this book may never come out because of the War of the Worlds rights and stuff like that and whatever. But eventually it did, and here we have Killraven from War of the Worlds. When I was growing up, this was actually one of my all-time favorite comics. I don't know how many of you out there have had the pleasure of reading Killraven, but it's really cool. First interracial kiss, I do believe, occurred in Killraven. But Killraven was basically a War of the Worlds. You know, the Martians had taken over, and Killraven and his happy bunch of buccaneers got together to fight the Martians. So of course they have the tripod, stuff like that. You know, stuff that was really taken from H.G. Wells. That really was about it. Really, the Martians and their spaceships. That really, now that I think about it, it really was about it. But what attracted me to it, well, it was first of all Roy Thomas, Jerry Conway, and Neil Adams and Chaykin basically are credited as are listed as the creators of Killraven, which is pretty good parentage when you think about it. But then shortly after, and then they had a few. Herb Trimp did it for a while, and I do believe even Gene the Dean Colan got in an issue, and I know that because I had all these issues as a kid. So it was pretty darn cool. I mean, I loved it, but of course, what's best about this, besides of course Don McGregor's great writing and all that, was the art of P. Craig Russell. This was where Russell really came into his own. Right from the start, even the early issues right through, he was starting to perfect the style we all know and love him for today. And oh, there's even a Keith Giffen in here too. And I really came to love it. And I mean, at the time, this Russell guy was brand new to all of us, and But I mean, he had this really cool style of drawing, and it was unlike anything else I'd ever seen before. And as each issue went along, kind of reminds me of like same with it's like watching Barry Windsor Smith as he moved along on Conan the Barbarian, and how his artwork just seemed to get better and better and better as it went along. Same too with Russell on this. Like I say, each one was just a little bit better than the last before, and the last few issues of it were absolutely spectacular. And then, of course, included in this is the Killraven graphic novel, which to me was the sheer height of the entire strip. It was, well, Russell at his best, and Mr. Don McGregor also at his best. So yeah, it was. Oh, as a matter of fact, there's a picture of the two young lads. But yeah, for any of you out there who haven't had the treat of reading this series, I envy you, because I mean, I loved it growing up. It was just so different, so unusual. It was just like, wow, this is such super cool art, and the story was so different, and to me it was, I mean, like I say, I'm a child of the late Silver Age, and coming into the Bronze Age, it was people like Russell and Starlin and Chaykin who basically took my little artistic mind and twisted around and turned it into something else. So, for you out there, pick this up. Killraven. Definitely worth the bucks. So let's have a quick scan through here. Of course, the first issue. Let's go earlier on in it. First issue by Chaykin and Neil Adams. Now, here's the first page there. Obviously, Neil Adams. Now, what it wasn't they drew it together. Was Adams did the first part of the book, and then Chaykin finished it off. So there's Adams, and right here is where it switches over to Chaykin. And like I say, I was a big fan of Chaykin. This is sort of early Chaykin. Now this is Chaykin, but it was inked by Frank McLaughlin, and you know, not bad, but I don't think McLaughlin was the right choice for him. From here, of course, then it goes into Herb Trim's run on it, and that goes through. He was on it for a few issues, and let's see. Then we come on over, and here we go. This is the actually, this is the Rich Buckler, I think. Yeah, Rich Buckler, Claus Janson issue. And then this was the, and of course you can tell the mile away, the Gene Colan issue. And it was inked by Dan Atkins, who did a reasonable job with them. So hard to be able to ink Colan anyway. So, and then we go along, and I do believe then we get into the, yeah, here's where we start to get into the work by Craig Russell. This is inked by Jack Abel, who wasn't as able as some people in inking Mr. Russell. I always loved this one. So I mean, like I say, the art was just absolutely mind-bending at the time for me. Loved it. Loved every bit of it. Now I'm just going to flip through this just because I don't want to take away too much of it from you. But a great comic. And then towards the end there was, oh, there it is back there. Towards the end, there's this Russell. And there was a fill-in issue from, oh no, we've gone way past, no. This is the Killraven graphic novel. But in one of the last, this is it, actually, this is it. Keith Giffen even stepped in to do an issue. There we go. Now Mantlo wrote this one. But once again, big fan of Giffen, so I mean, it's funny, all the people who stood in were also big favorites of mine. Now here's the actual graphic novel. sort of ended it off nicely. And, well, so well worth it. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. I can't recommend it high enough. So anyway, yeah, absolutely stunning. Love it. I'm in love with this book. I'm going to take it to lunch tomorrow and get it whatever tea it wants. And if it wants a sandwich, it can have it. Because I love it. Give it a bit of the tongue there. Woo! Okay. Let's have a cup of tea here first. Now, I spent more time on Killraven than I thought, but it deserves it. So, oh yeah, and that review goes out to you, Don McGregor. Don's one of my Facebook friends. Love following him. Looks like you're having a great vacation. But you're an amazing, amazing writer, Don. Thanks for all the memories. So, to fill in the last few minutes, I figured, looking, what can I do for all those folks out there? And I figured, hey, let's have a look at some box sets. And so, I pulled out a few. I'm not going to go through them too much. This is one of my favorite box sets, of course, is the Usagi Yojimbo. This is the Fantagraphics edition, but beautifully done. Special edition. This is all the early Usagi Yojimbo. I've been reading Usagi Yojimbo since the start. Once again, as everyone out there knows, it's one of the great comic, and one of the most underrated comic book series of all time out there these days. So, for those of you out there not familiar with Usagi, run out and grab yourself some Usagi somewhere, because I know at least the more recent ones are out. It's still out in soft cover. There was some hardcover ones come out, but I'm not sure if they're all still in print or not. Loving the tea. Next little box set of books here is the Complete 8-Ball. Fantagraphics really does great little collections of look. I mean, look, these guys. There's even inside it there. I don't know if you can see it, but inside there's drawing. Fantagraphics is like DC, great production values. So there's Complete 8-Ball Volume 1, and Volume 2. I'm a huge fan of Dan Close. And of course, when this came out, I just had to have it. I wish they'd put up more of his stuff in really nice sets like this. What I'm waiting for, actually, is, and I hope they do it sooner or later, is Peter Bag's Hate. They gots to put that out in a set of books. Speaking of Peter Bag, and this is, I guess, the lead up to Hate, preamble, the prequel is the comic series known as Neat Stuff. Woo! And this is the Complete Neat Stuff. Once again, great. Here's Buddy. He's one of my heroes. I absolutely love. I love Peter Bag's work. I can't get enough of it. This is book 2, but it basically, most of it is the story of Buddy and his family and all that. His highly dysfunctional family and how he has to deal with them and his dad. And it's absolutely hilarious. This was one of the first comic books that I actually, when I read it, I actually laughed out loud. And for me to laugh out loud, I'm a pretty sick little doggy, so I mean, to make me laugh, you gotta be really funny. And this stuff is. So any of you out there like comedy, humor, this is an amazing series. Absolutely mind-bending. Mind-bending. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this was one. I remember buying this in New York City. This is Humbug. This was after Kurtzman left. After he left Marvel, he put out a couple of his own books. Trump, Humbug. This was one of them, and it's as much written written stuff as it is. Oh, as a matter of fact, look at this. Metro card in it. It's as much articles and writing as it is comics, so it's kind of different from your average comic book, but it's, I had to get it anyway because it's historically, you know, because of the Kurtzman connection, there's, you know, it's a valuable piece of our comic book history. And so when it came out, I had to get it. And once again, very nice production values. Super cool. Super cool, man. Oh, and last but not least, the Complete Women's Comics. Once again, another one. This is from Fantagraphics too, isn't it? I do believe. And once again, look at this. Beautifully, beautifully done. So this has the Complete Women's Comics in it. Volume 1. A pair of 3D glasses in it, and comics from all kinds of people. From I do believe there's some Trina Robbins here, and just a good, cool mixture. Now, when I was growing up, you might think, you know, Complete Women's Comics. Well, you know, there's lots of women writing comics today. Today, yes, but when I was growing up, Ramona Fredon and Marie Severin were actually the only women in mainstream comics. Of course, Trina was, and others were blazing a trail in the underground world. Oh, and speaking of the underground world, here's one of my favorite collections here, the Complete Zap Comics. So this has all of them, and it has a little portfolio. One of these is actually a book, a portfolio book. But this, of course, once again, especially for any of you fans of Crom, and there's other people in it too, Spain Rodriguez, and a lot of other people involved in it. So for any of you people who are underground comics fans, this is a must-have. Now, it's bloody expensive set and all that, but it's just so worth it. Oh, well, I guess that's really about it there for me tonight. Now, this week we'll have the joy of having 2 episodes. One tonight, and there will be one Thursday. And the Thursday night one is going to be the show number 50. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I have to do something special, but I'll do something anyway. I actually even thought of, because I've had quite a few requests to do another grand tour of the library here, so once I tidy up the place, I think I might follow up as a special edition. I might do another grand tour of the library. Now, so much of the library has been packed up and moved and that, but all the best stuff is still out there. All the classic stuff anyways. So yeah, I'll see what I can whip up for that special 50th show. You know, you can always send me a cake if you want. Prize gifts will be accepted. And if you want to do something actually to help me celebrate, share next week's show on your page and all that, and especially with any other people that you know who are also into these beautiful collected books that we all love of comic books and comic strips. And with that note, on that note, your friend and your pal Wallace Ryan here is going to take a boom tube to another dimension. He's going to have a cup of tea, another cup of tea, and maybe watch some TV and eventually go to sleep. So, we'll see you later on in the week. Love all of you to death. Okay, see you later.